Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. So today we're going to talk about taxation without representation. So basically when we had the 13 colonies, there were many reasons why we sought freedom from Britain. But one particular one that always kind of sticks with people is the taxation without representation. So the 13 colonies had to pay taxes to the king, even though they had zero say on rules, laws, things that affected their daily life. And they were paying a lot of taxes to a king who was out of touch, not just with reality, but with the life of somebody living in the Americas, which was vastly different than somebody living in Europe. And it's more complicated than that, but I'm sure a lot of you know what that is. And I live in Virginia, which we live very close to the District of Columbia, and they have their license plates, a lot of them say taxation without representation. But I'm here to kind of turn that on its head. What if I were to tell you that technically all of us are experiencing taxation without representation? Now, I know that a lot of you guys probably listen to some of my videos and are like, where does she get this stuff? Like, she's pulling this out of someplace. And honestly, it's like, it's in my head and I like mull over things. And none of you have to agree or even think that I'm sane for saying the things that I say. But at the same time, if I'm thinking about it and it seems logical to me, then I'm going to make a video about it. Because I'm hoping to show you guys that things are not always what they seem. Yes, I have the right to vote. I was born in America. I am a full citizen. I have not had my voting rights revoked. And I practice that right to vote. And it's something that I'm really proud of. And no matter what kind of hot messes are presented to me, which most of the time they're all kind of hot messes in my personal opinion, and I'm talking about like all of them. Like they're all pretty much hot messes. Locally, statewide, and, nationally. That's just my opinion. And I'm talking about like since I started voting. So 2008. I can't really speak to before that. But I think it's been a hot mess for much longer than I've been able to vote. So if I go and vote and my person does not win, whether that's for president, town dog catcher, whoever. If the person I vote for doesn't win, okay, I did get to vote, but I'm not really being represented. Okay? And I understand that people aren't going to agree with that, and that's okay, because if my person won, technically I would be represented, but not necessarily. Can any of us say that the person that we vote for, again, locally, statewide, nationally, if you vote for a person and they win, are they keeping their promises? Are they doing everything that they said they would do? Are scandals about them coming out from God knows when? Are they playing fair? Are they showing good decorum? Are they doing the things that they said that they were going to do? Or are they making excuses? And they claimed during their election that this particular thing was really important to them, but then you never hear about it again the whole time that they're in office. I would call that taxation without representation, because whether that person does their job or not, I still have to pay my taxes. Now, I'm not encouraging anyone to stop paying their taxes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we need to start holding elected officials accountable for what they say and what they do. I am not expecting any of them to be perfect. I am not expecting any of them to not have skeletons in their closet. I am the first person to tell you that if I went to run for office, there would be all sorts of skeletons. I'm not ashamed to say that. We all have skeletons in our closet that we would not want to see on the 6 o'clock news. None of us have had perfect lives or done, the most upstanding things. Do you know what I mean? We've all done something we are embarrassed about and we wouldn't want to see on the news. That does not bother me. What bothers me is that elected officials are being compensated by really wealthy people and companies and corporations with very deep pockets, and they're compensating them to help with their election. But really it's, hey, if I give you this money, then you're going to make policies and laws that benefit me and my shareholders. So those laws and rules aren't necessarily made in the best interest of us as the people. They are made for the best interest of corporations and people with very deep pockets. Now, they are citizens too, and they get their one vote and I get my one vote. But because I don't have bazillions of dollars to give to a politician to make them vote and make rules and regulations that would benefit me and my agenda, I'm not too keen on that. And people can contribute to elected officials, but we all know that there is a cap on how much they legally can. But then they start giving money through third parties and subsidiaries, I think it is, and all sorts of like cloak and dagger type things. And so that is my opinion, that whether you vote for a candidate or not, whether your candidate wins or not, if they are not sticking closely, now granted, they can't stick exactly, I understand that, but if they are far left from what they said that they were going to do, you're technically paying taxes without properly being represented. And I have an issue with that. So you guys take of that what you want. Maybe that blew somebody's mind, or maybe somebody thinks that I sound ignorant. That's everybody's opinion. But if you really think about it, it's true. So what can we do? We need to start holding elected officials accountable. Start with your mayor, start with your congressman, your senator, your governor, and we need to start moving up the ladder and start holding people accountable for their actions. Because if I did a job interview and I claimed to have all these degrees and I claimed to do this and this and this and be this person, and then I got hired for the job and they found out that it was all fake, I don't know how to do any of this, I don't really, everything about it is just not going to happen, that company wouldn't keep me on as an employee and keep compensating me. And I'd probably get into some sort of trouble depending if I, doctored documents or something like that. And I just want people to start holding elected officials accountable the same way that we would be held accountable. Okay, guys, so just something for you to think about. And until next time, guys, bye.